Welcome to another Visitor Podcast. Today we're going to go to the gym. But before we go to the gym, we're going to do the Brazilian Butt Blaster Workout. BBB. That's what we're doing today. All right. So, welcome to the show. We're all, in the gym, you're seeing more and more people really working out the glutes. It's a major focus. Gyms have special equipment even for it. So I decided let's do a program on this to really show you the effective exercises, because there's a lot of stuff being done that is useless. And if you're trying to grow a butt and you're spending a lot of time walking on the treadmill, you're going to lose that butt. So I would suggest do sprints instead. Full-on sprints, 11 seconds, 6 sets, rest 3 minutes in between. You get the same thing as walking 10K or 5K or whatever K you're walking, and you're not losing your butt. You're gaining butt. Look at sprinters, look at long-distance runners, look at their butts. Anyway, talking about butts or glutes, we're going to go through 3 specific principles so you understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. All right? Principle number 1 is that most women and men underestimate the power of the glutes. The glutes are like the calves. They are extremely powerful. So to activate growth or hypertrophy in the glutes, you're going to have to push yourself to the limit. Don't be afraid. You're going to have to put major weight on to push and make that change in your butt. If you're doing it light, if you're just doing reps, it's not going to happen. It might tighten a little bit, but it's not going to really change your glutes. So to change the glutes, we need to do some compound movements. We need to incorporate some hamstrings, which actually look beautiful, make the leg look very beautiful, which means you're going to have to push it beyond what you think you're pushing it. I see people in the gym all the time, women, especially women, just doing baby weights, thinking, this is going to hurt them or whatever. No, they need to do way more weights because the glute is so strong. Meaning that if you're not going to push it to the limit, it's not going to grow. There's not going to be an effect, the effect that you want. Okay, so that's the first principle. We need to really go heavy. Once you have set yourself up and you know what you're doing, up the weight, up the weight, up the weight. Your reps need to be around, anywhere from 8 to 15 in between. As you get heavier, you should be coming down to 8, even 6 reps. And I really want you to push it. So we're going to have 3 working sets of each exercise. That means you got 1 or 2 sets where you're doing a warm-up. That doesn't count. Working sets means you already have weight on there and you're actually doing it. Okay, so the second principle is going to be time under tension, meaning that we're seeing more hypertrophy when there's time under tension on the muscle, meaning that your muscle needs to stay tense with resistance continuously for the longest amount of time. So that's why when we're doing squats, when we're doing any of these exercises, I never want you to hyperextend your knee because that means you're resting. I want there always to be contraction in the glute, okay, even at so-called rest or end of the rep. Okay, so you're never going to end a rep and stay there and rest there or anything like that. You're going to continuously have tension in that muscle. Okay, so that's the second principle, because that will basically determine how much growth you can produce in that muscle. The third one, and I think one of the most important ones, which the latest research, and I've got 2 research papers to show you, the muscle training needs to be under elongated circumstances. What do I mean by that? I mean that you need to stretch that muscle out as far as you can and train it in that stretch. That's going to give you the most benefits. Okay, so you're going to see me with the trainer. She's actually a trainer at in Istanbul at the Coliseum in Acarkent. I want to thank the Coliseum. I want to thank Acarkent for allowing me to take these videos, and also our trainer, which I'll write her name below. So as I said, we want to stretch that muscle and work it under stretch. So what you're going to see me do is a lot of times working with some type of platform that elevates the leg that is actually being trained, or the glute that's being trained. Okay, because I want that glute completely stretched as far as we can go before we put force to come back up. If we're doing it normally, if we're just going to a squat that's like 90 degrees, then we're not getting that stretch in the glute. It's not helping us. It will help our quads a little bit, but not our glutes. So we need to really stretch it. We're going to do sumo squats. We're going to do straight-legged deadlifts. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff in the gym to showcase this. All right? And I'm going to talk you through it in the gym. So again, I want you to do 3 working sets. The rep range is anywhere between 8 and 15. And really, I need you to put weight on there. I need you to put resistance. I need you to go to your maximum. I mean, I need you to be able to say, okay, I can't lift more than this, really. While keeping your back straight. If you need to use a belt, use a belt. All of this. You're not going to grow. You're not going to get too big. You're not going to... None of that's going to happen. We're trying to get a little bit of growth in your buttocks, in your glutes, all right? But in order to do this, because this muscle is such a strong and dense muscle, we need to really train it. Unlike any other muscle in your body, we need to really push this muscle, understand this, all right? So let's take it to the gym. See you there. So we're starting with warming up the glutes. And as you can see, she's not coming up all the way, keeping her head down, her shoulders forward, and just stopping, really pulling herself up by her hamstrings and her glutes. So this is the proper way of doing it, and what we're doing is forcing some blood into the glutes, getting them ready, warming them up for the Brazilian glute buster exercises that we're going to have today, and it's going to be good. It's going to be real good. These are all effective. Okay, this is with weights. So as you progress, I want you to do this exercise with the weights. Really get that extension on the bottom. You can keep the weight closer to your body than she's doing even, and really get the extension in the glutes for this. Okay, next up is Bulgarian squats. As you can see, her feet are pointed out, like you're using duck foot stance here, and you're going all the way down. Okay, duck foot, about shoulder width apart, and really take it all the way down as deep as you can go. In the beginning, you might have to place some small weights under your heels if you don't have the flexibility in your ankle or your knees or your hips, but I really want these all the way down. These are specifically for the glutes. So shoulder width or a little wider apart, duck stance, toes pointed out, and I need you to go really deep on these. And also here, don't underestimate the weight you can carry, the weight you can do. So I want you to start without weight and then work your way up. Okay, here we go. I want you to do these. These are one-legged Bulgarian, raised on 2 plates of 45s or 2 plates of 20 kilos. As you can see, because what we're looking for is you to extend beyond the normal range. So I need that glute complete extension. And what we're doing is we're activating this glute this way. So initially, like she's doing, I want you to use the Smith machine to hold on and have balance. As you get better, you're actually going to use the Smith machine with weights. And we're going to show that in a second. So really get down. The knee has to touch the ground while your other foot is elevated. As you can see, leg is elevated. Now she's doing it with the Smith machine, and you can also do this with weights as you get better. I want you to keep your toes pointed if possible, not to push off, because I really want this to be complete glute activation on this exercise. Okay, as you can see, she's going beyond the degrees, so I want you to go 30 degrees lower. This is what she's doing. This is the position we're taking to really activate the glute. Okay, so really activate the glute here. So here we're starting the straight-legged deadlifts, really keeping the bar close to the shin, going all the way down. She's on an elevated platform so she can get that stretch in the glutes. And really what I want you to think about is pull up with your glutes and your hamstrings. All right? Pull up with the glutes and the hamstrings on the way up to really activate the glutes here. And also activating the hamstrings with really focusing on the glutes. So you're really focusing on pulling up the weight with your butt and the back of your leg. Okay? Glutes and hamstrings. That's what you want to focus on. And then you're going to push forward in the end for a little bit. Alright? Just push your pelvis forward to finish that movement and really activate the glutes here. Okay, here we're going to go with lunges to finish off. And really what I want you to do is have that forward lean on the lunge. Not a neutral lean, but while keeping your back straight. Going all the way down, bringing that knee down. Looking forward in the distance so you can hold your balance correctly. But this is where it is critical. So again, in this lunge, you're doing it differently. You're leaning forward, keeping your back straight, really focusing on activating that glute and activating the hamstring and getting that stretch, because what we want to do is really put load under the muscle being stretched. That gives us the maximum activation. Okay, so if you actually want to do these, you can. You're seeing a lot of them. Look at, really focus on the form, keeping it back straight, really focusing on kicking that leg back so you get the most activation on the glute. This is a very good exercise if done well. So really look closely at the form that she's using. Perfect. That's the way to do it. That's how you activate. And this could be like a finishing move. But trust me, if you do what we do, you're not going to need a finishing move.